We are officially in Forbidden Door week, and that means, people, there are a lot of pro wrestling shows that are going to be happening across London on that weekend. It is one of the most exciting times to be a wrestling fan, and I'm going to run down some of the shows that I think you should check out. So please hit subscribe, like this video, let me know which shows you're attending in the comments as we talk about some awesome British wrestling. Hello and welcome to FTTR, I am Hugh McQuaid, and today we are talking about 5 wrestling shows that are happening on Forbidden Door weekend that I think you need to know about if you are heading down to London for Forbidden Door. These are shows that should be on your itinerary and you should check them out because they sound awesome. But before we dive into that, please subscribe, please like this video, please comment your thoughts down below and I'll try to apply to every single one of them as we dive into this, starting with a little bit of the criteria. So these are 5 shows that are happening in chronological order that you can attend. I'm going to include links to all of the shows in the comments, in the video description, and you can check it out and buy tickets if you want. If I sell you on the shows, let them know that I sent you, because that will mean a lot. But there's a lot of stuff happening. There always is a lot of stuff happening. I have the shows that I'm attending, and that's just one. I'm only attending one because, fun fact, we do this as like a 50-50. So we're doing Forbidden Door on the Sunday and then we're doing Progress on the Monday. The other 2 days, we're going to the theatre because we've got to do that split. You know, that is what an equal relationship is. But it means I'm going to miss out on some of these shows, but it also means that I'm probably going to see The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which is all good. Enough rambling. Let me know your favourite theatre shows in the comments below, though. Yeah? Shall we just dive into the first show? So the first show that I'm going to be talking about is Pro Wrestling Ceasefire's Unauthorized Gate, which takes place on Thursday, the 21st of August at the Chandler Hall in London. This is really cool. Pro Wrestling Ceasefire are a really cool promotion up in London, and they do some really cool work for charity, in particular, you know, helping places like Palestine and Gaza and all the stuff that's going on there. Some really cool stuff. This show, Pro Wrestling Ceasefire, is raising money in support of UNICEF and Lebanese Red Cross, which is all really cool. It's all really awesome, and I love when, you know, companies do that. It's really cool, and this is one I want to go. We weren't going to go up on the Thursday, we're going up to London on the Friday, but if we did go up on the Thursday, this will be one that I want to check out because I've not had a chance to see a Pro Wrestling Ceasefire before, and this sounds really fun. So first match that we will talk about is The Refs versus Sunshine Machine and the East City Butchers. So the team of The Refs, Giovanni Giorgi, Oscar Harding, Tom Scarborough and Martin Raymondson, taking on Sunshine Machine, TK Cooper, Chuck Mambo, and the East City Butchers, Shah Samuels and Jordan Said. That sounds fun. I want to see The Refs. Tom Scarborough, you know, he's a cool guy. Seen him a lot of Progress shows, and that is one, you know, the team of refs going up against the team of wrestlers. When you got Sunshine Machine in there, that sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. Another match that they have announced is a big old tag team match as Kanji and Jordan Breaks take on Diamond Eyes, Nico Angelo and Connor Mills. You're going to see a lot of names pop up across this weekend, and Connor Mills and Nico Angelo have very big matches coming up that we will talk about later. Again, this sounds really cool. Kanji as well, Jordan Breaks, awesome tag match incoming. So the final match that I found that has been announced for this show, if any more are announced, then I will probably add them below. At the time of recording, I can find 3 matches currently, and that is Kuro versus Emerson Jane versus Jay Joshua in a triple threat. Holy shit, that sounds good. That sounds class. All 3 of them are incredible pro wrestlers, and it sounds like an awesome triple threat. Like, genuinely cool. You got Emerson Jane in there, one of the best wrestlers in the world, Jay Joshua, who's again going to have another awesome match that we're going to talk about later, and Kuro. Yeah, it's awesome. It's just really cool. Really cool show. And you also have Stefan Smith, AEW referee, will be officiating the show as well. So you get a little bit of the Forbidden Door crossover there. Yeah, I think this is awesome. Really cool show. Put it on your itinerary. The next show that we'll be talking about takes place on the 22nd of August. That's right, it's the Friday night. Riot Cabaret Pro Wrestling. Someone's knocking at the door. Taking place at the Clapham Grand. I've always wanted to get out to see a Riot Cabaret show. They seem so much fun, so funny, and just doesn't take itself too seriously. You know, I've seen the clips of Mr. Blobby, But this looks stacked. This looks like a really stacked show. So the first match that we'll talk about is Flash Morgan Webster versus Jordan Breaks. I think that's going to be a banger of a match. Cara Noir versus Nina Samuels. Again, sounds like it's going to be an awesome match. That's a very interesting dynamic that I want to see there between Nina Samuels and Cara Noir. I think that'll be really fun. Spike Trivet versus Man Like Doris. I have missed Spike Trivet so much. He's one of my absolute favourite wrestlers in the world, and him against Man Like Doris. I've seen the clips of him making his return to Riot Cabaret and sort of setting up this feud, and it looks sick. It looks class. Spike Trivet, honest to God, check that man out. He is so unbelievably talented in the ring and on the mic. Wedding from Hell match with a special guest referee of Simon Miller. Tate Mayfairs takes on James Ellis. That sounds fun. A Wedding from Hell match, I think, could be a lot of fun. It could be hilarious. It could be deathly serious. You could take that two different ways. But with Simon Miller in there, I think it's going to be a funny one. I think that's going to be a really entertaining watch. We do have a little bit of card subject to change here, as Harley Hudson was supposed to take on Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, of course, has to take time off for an emergency, a family emergency, I do believe. So I hope that everything is perfectly okay with Thunder Rosa. I hope she's doing well, and it's in her best interest to, be unable to make the show, and that's completely fine. Who Harley Hudson is facing, I don't think has been announced just yet, but that will be something that you can look at on Riot Cabaret social media, so stay tuned for that. A tag team title match, Sunshine Machine. Again, I feel like I'm going to mention Sunshine Machine a lot in this video, but it is what it is. Sunshine Machine take on the franchise, Brendan White and Charlie Sterling. Awesome team. Not the Greedy Souls. Instead, we're getting a new variation of this with Charlie Sterling and Brendan White. I think that's a perfect combination. I think that's going to be absolutely class. A great tag team match incoming. If you haven't checked out some of the work that Charlie Sterling, the Smoking Aces, did against Sunshine Machine, then please check it out, because it's very impressive, very awesome stuff. And finally, for the Riot Cabaret title, Mark Andrews versus Nico Angelo. Again, this match is going to blow the roof off the place. Mark Andrews, incredible. Nico Angelo, incredible. Yeah, this is just going to be... It's not even... It might be like the sleeper hit show of the weekend, because there's so many shows happening on the weekend. But Riot Cabaret, they put on some stacked cards, man. They really do. And this is one, again, I'm gutted that I'm going to be missing this. But I think I'll be at Les Mis. I think... during this. I'm pretty sure that's what my partner wants to go see. She wants to go see Les Mis on this day, but we'll see if we can swap to Riot Cabaret. Next up, we have the big one. This is the one that is catching sort of the most traction and the most sort of just jaw drops, I think, and that is Pro Wrestling Eve's Eve X the World. I've always wondered what you say for X. I usually say against, but I think that'd be a V, so and maybe Eve X the World, which is taking place at the Big Penny Social in London on the 23rd. In fact, this is a show that is clashing. We will talk about the clash in just a little moment, but this is a stacked show. Some incredible talent coming across from AEW here, and this is one that I think you want to keep your eye on when looking what you want to do. Keep this Saturday night free if you're unsure, because this could be one that you might want to check out. I don't think it's sold out, but I haven't seen anything when I've been looking to see if it's sold out. This will probably sell out, I imagine, with some of the star power on here. But shall we just dive into it? An Eve International #1 contendership match. Nina Samuels taking on some mystery opponents, haven't been announced yet. Again, I think that's going to be really fun. I believe, pretty sure, Chris Statlander is the champion, so more Chris Statlander in Eve, please. That'd be awesome. A really cool singles match, special singles match announced. Anita Vaughn versus Queen Aminata. Queen Aminata, one of the most underrated wrestlers in AEW at the moment. I think this match is going to slap. It's going to be awesome. Eve title #1 contendership match. Rio takes on Lucy Sky. Again, I really love all the stuff that Rio's doing in Progress. I love the stuff that Lucy Sky's doing in TNT. Awesome match. This is going to be really cool. And quick prediction, Rio. I think never bet against Rio. Sorry, Lucy Sky, but I'm going for Rio picking up the win here. A big tag team title match. Millie McKenzie and Sapphire Reed taking on Julia Hart and Sky Blue of AEW. I think that's going to be so much fun. It's going to be really cool to see Sky Blue and Julia Hart in this sort of smaller environment as well. I'm really excited for that. But the main event, Eve title match. Nightshade versus Nyla Rose. Now, I love Nyla Rose. I think Nyla Rose is criminally underrated in terms of how she's been represented in AEW. I think she should be vying for that top title more than she is. I know she had a brief stint on Ring of Honor with Athena, but Nyla Rose is incredible. They are incredible. They are really, really cool, and I'd love to see them have future matches in Eve. And this match against Nightshade, oh boy, that's going to tear the house down. It's going to tear the house down, and I think that is this succinct card. I don't know if it'll just be the 5 matches. Another match might be announced closer to the date, but yeah, I think this is going to kill. This might be the talking point of the weekend in terms of independent wrestling. It's Pro Wrestling Eve. They could really steal the weekend with this show, and I hope they do. I hope they do, because you know what? More representation is better, and they've put on a stacked card. So props to Eve for, stacking their card, making themselves a talking point, and the in-ring action speaks for itself. The in-ring action is incredible. Check out the Jamie Hayter match. It's awesome. Really cool. Excited to see what Eve does here. So this is where we come into the clashing shows, ladies and gentlemen, because Rev Pro's anniversary show is 2 nights this year, and that means one is clashing with Riot Cabaret and one is clashing with Pro Wrestling Eve. So you got to choose, baby. You got to choose if you want to go see Eve and Riot Cab, maybe one night of Rev Pro and Eve, one night of Riot Cab and Rev Pro. That was hard to say. You got to choose. And that's a shame. I would have rather preferred Rev Pro stick to the one night, because I don't like the competition. I don't like them overlapping each other. I think that's rough for people having to choose. But if you've already bought tickets, that sucks. That really does suck, and I feel sorry for you. I feel like you may have been shafted, potentially. I just wish that they'd go back to one night, maybe do it on a different night so that they're not clashing. But there's so much wrestling going on, it's hard to sort of do all that. But let's talk about night one. That's what we're here to talk about right now. Rev Pro anniversary, 13-year anniversary, night one. Global Wars. Now, Global Wars, I really wanted to go Global Wars when it was in Doncaster. I didn't get a chance to go. And this is a stacked little card. So first of all, you have Jushin Thunder Liger being inducted into Rev Pro Hall of Fame, which is really, really cool. And the first match we'll talk about is Blue Panther versus Chris Ridgway, which is going to be like Bryan Danielson's dream match. He's going to love that. He's going to love the graps that happen between Blue Panther and Chris Ridgway, because that is his style with one of his favourite wrestlers ever. He's going to absolutely love it. Alexis Falcon versus Persephone is the next match we'll talk about. Again, I think this is going to be really cool. Nice to see some sort of CMLL representation as well. This is sort of a joint show with CMLL, Rev Pro, Ring of Honor in there. The next match that we've got is Connor Mills versus Yuya Uemura. I hope I pronounced that right. That's going to be class. That is going to be absolutely class. I cannot wait to watch that match. I think it's going to be absolutely awesome. Then we have what could be match of the weekend. And there's a lot of great matches here, but I do believe this could be match of the weekend, and that's Tomohiro Ishii taking on Jay Joshua. I think that match is going to be absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic, and one that I would love to be there live for. And the final is a Rev Pro Undisputed British Tag Team title match as the Young Guns defense against the GYV. Awesome. They had a great match at Summer Sizzler. I want to see this again, and I wouldn't be surprised if GYV pick up the tag titles, to be honest. I don't know why. I've just got that feeling in my chest that maybe Ethan Allen and Luke Jacobs might not be retaining here. I wouldn't be surprised if GYV won. And that caps off night one. I think night one is pretty solid. No Mercedes Moné announced for night one. I'm not sure if she'll be on both shows. Maybe she'll be on one. But we'll talk about Mercedes Moné because I feel like she'll probably be on the next show. But for a night of wrestling, yeah, I think this looks fun. So fun fact, my camera actually died about halfway through filming this, so I don't know what the continuity is like right now. I don't know if it syncs up or not, but it is what it is. Show business, baby. But we are here talking about the 4th show now, and that is Rev Pro 13-year anniversary show 2, night 2, whatever you want to call it. This is the anniversary show. We've had Global Wars, now we have the anniversary show, and I think that this is a stacked all night so far. We have 5 matches announced. Again, no Mercedes Moné has been announced for the show just yet. I imagine she will be announced soon, because I think it would be wild if she's not on the card here as the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion. So I'm going to say I think she will have a tag team match on one of these shows against two members of the Cutthroat Collective, probably teaming with Kanji. I think that'd be a really cool way to go. But let's dive into this card so far, shall we? Starting with the finals of Great British Tag League. Connor Mills and Jay Joshua versus Cowboy Way, Thomas Shire and One Call Manders. I think that'll be great. That'll be a really, really damn good match, and one that I am excited to see. We have another one that's been a really well-built feud here. We have Michael Oku versus the current X Division champion, Leon Slater. Again, they've built it really well. I'm very excited for all the stuff that Michael Oku's doing. Maybe it'll be a bit of a farewell for Michael Oku, potentially going towards AEW. We'll see how that plays out. A dream match of mega proportions. That's right, we have Zazuya versus Zack Sabre Jr. No other words other than this match will be class. Then we have for the Rev Pro Undisputed British Cruiserweight Championship, Nino Bryant versus Robbie X. Again, I think this will be phenomenal. Phenomenal. High-flying cruiserweight action. Robbie X, one of the best in the world. Nino also really, really damn good, and closing in on Robbie X for greatest cruiserweight in the world. They're both really, really cool. And finally, the controversial one, some people may say, the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship, as Ricky Knight Jr. defends against Shaw Samuels. Shaw Samuels' last match, potentially. He does have other dates that he's going to potentially fulfill. But I think this is okay. This is good. I am a Ricky Knight Jr. fan, as we will get into in just a little moment. And I'm a Shaw Samuels fan as well. I really like the match that they had, Jay Joshua and Shaw Samuels had at Summer Sizzler. I thought that was really good. So I like what they've done here. They didn't go the typical way of having Michael Oku versus Shaw Samuels, which I know people would have been very into as well. But I'm here for Ricky Knight Jr. I like Ricky Knight Jr. I'm excited to see what he does going forward and doing in like the M1 Victory that he's going to be in. So yeah, I think this is a pretty solid main event. Of the two nights, I think this night looks better on paper with the Oku match, the Zack Sabre Jr. match, Cruiserweight match, Tag Team Final, and the main event. I think that one looks better on paper than night one, but let me know down in the comments which one you're most excited for as we dive into the next night. Then on the Sunday, we will have Forbidden Door. I don't think anyone's running against that. And on Monday, the 25th of August, at the Electric Ballroom, Progress Wrestling 100 Volts. I'm hyped for this show, okay? As you know, if you followed the channel for a while, I am a big Progress Wrestling fan, a big Progress Wrestling supporter. And I think, particularly in the past few years, I think it's quite bold of Progress in that they have stuck to their guns and just done matches which complement the stories that they are telling. They haven't necessarily gone out of their way to just throw some dream matches together, which I get on a weekend of Forbidden Door. You sometimes want that, like we had Kenta for the first Progress show, the Defy Progress show. They had some, big stars coming. We had the return of Cara Noir the year previous. There's been some really big stuff that has been announced, but this card so far, I feel like people may say it's underwhelming, but for me, all the stories here and all the matches make sense, and they make sense in terms of the stories that they have been telling. For example, it would be weird to just have Lana Austin in there against like someone from, I don't know, Marigold, for instance. Whereas Lana Austin and Alexis Falcon, they've had this story and now they're going to have their blow off. I think it makes sense in how they've told the story. There are some matches on there that I do think have been a little bit tweaked, like the Atlas Championship match, for instance. But I think it's a really strong card from top to bottom. First match that we have is Lana Austin versus Alexis Falcon, with the stipulation being that if Lana Austin wins, Holly Barlow is barred from all Progress shows that Lana Austin is a part of, and if Alexis Falcon wins, she will be able to challenge for the Progress Women's title again. Really good stipulation. I think there's no way Lana Austin is winning here, no offense, because she's not barring Holly Barlow from buildings, because that would just be disastrous. And next we have Charlie Sterling taking on Awada-san. I hope I pronounced that right as well, from Pro Wrestling Noah. He's come across, he just had his match with Ozawa in Pro Wrestling Noah, and now he's on excursion over here like Ozawa was as well, also in progress. I think this match is going to be class. I really like the match that he had with Ozawa, and Charlie Sterling is one of the best in the world, one of the most underrated in the world, so these two going up against each other is going to be a spectacle. Next up, a match that I am very, very, very excited for, Cara Noir versus Ricky Knight Jr. Now, going off what I was just saying about Ricky Knight Jr., I think he's underrated in terms of how he's perceived. I think he's a terrific in-ring wrestler. He's had some amazing matches. The one with Trent Seven I thought was exceptional. His strong style final against Luke Jacobs was also exceptional. And putting him in there with Cara Noir who's telling the story of trying to gain his momentum and trying to pick up wins. I think Ricky Knight Jr. is the right person to be in there, and I think Ricky Knight Jr. will probably beat Cara Noir going into the M1 victory. Yeah, I'm really, really happy about this. I think it's going to be an exceptional match in the building. A title match. We have 5 title matches on this show, and the first one is a tag team title match as Lycos Jim defend against Sunshine Machine. Following the shenanigans that happened at the last show, we've seen clear as day that Lycos in particular, slipped a cheeky little, shenanigan into his knee pad when he took out Chuck Mambo. And yeah, we're getting a rematch here. I'm really here for this. They have great chemistry. They're 2 of my favourite tag teams. I think it's going to be exceptional. Next up for the Progress Women's Championship, Rio defends against Kanji. Again, 2 of the best wrestlers in the world. I think they are going to absolutely tear the house down with this match. I think it's going to be one of the best matches of the weekend, and I'm really excited for it. I'm not sure who's going to win either. I think Rio, but I'm not 100% sure. Next up for the Progress Proteus Championship, Paul Walter Hauser defends against Simon Miller, Charles Crowley, and Bullet in a Fans Bring the Weapons match. Now, I think this is going to be hilarious. I'm all for comedy and wrestling, and I think when you've got Simon Miller and Charles Crowley in there, and Paul Walter Hauser, who, Naked Gun is one of my favourite films of the year. It's so funny, and I think that this match is going to be incredible. I think it's going to be really funny. They're going to do some really funny and inventive stuff here, and I think Paul Walter Hauser's walking out with the win. I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a really funny one. We'll see what fans bring to the show. I don't know if I'll be bringing anything. Might do a shop around Camden Market, see what I can get beforehand. Yeah, I'm here for this. I think it's going to be really funny. Then for the Atlas Championship, a triple threat as Will Cruz takes on G Money, who takes on the champion Mike D. This is going to be hard-hitting, big beefy boys slapping meat. Will Cruz and Mike D in the same ring is going to be insane. The entire earth is going to shake when they hit those superplexes, and then you'll have G Money sliding in every now and then to do something hilarious. Last Progress show was, I think, when he coined Ozawa being his son, if I'm correct, the last Progress show on All In weekend anyway. So I think he's going to do some really funny stuff here, and yeah, like I said, I'm here for comedy and wrestling. I think this could be funny, but also exceptional in the ring when you've got Will Cruz, G Money, and Mike D in there. This could tear the house down. And finally, for the Progress World Championship, Luke Jacobs defends against Man Like DeReiss in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. This match is going to be carnage. I think this is going to destroy the Electric Ballroom. I think they're going to brawl everywhere, and it's going to be insanely enjoyable carnage. It is an insanely cool match. They built this story really well with DeReiss and Luke Jacobs. I think this could be match of the weekend, could be one of the gnarliest matches, could be one of the most hardcore, could be one of the scariest matches as well. I'm here for this, and I'm really here because I think Man Like DeReiss, he's bringing it home. He's going to capture that Progress World title again off Luke Jacobs, and it's going to be an insane feat to hear the entire Electric Ballroom go ballistic for it. And that does it, and that wraps up my 5 shows that I think you should check out over Forbidden Door weekend. Let me know which shows you're going to. Let me know which matches you're most excited for. Let me know your overall thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll try to reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much for your support, and have a nice day.